I'd like to firstly just acknowledge the very sad passing of Tony Greig today, and on behalf of Australian cricket to pass on our condolences to Vivian and the family. We're all very saddened at yesterday's news. For me, as a young boy back in the 1970s, I can remember Tony Greig larger than life in the 1974 5 series, and then the great centenary test. And from then he very much became a part of our summers through the Nine network, firstly in World Series cricket, and we all know the role that he played there, and then later as a commentator on the Nine network. I came to know Tony through my role in cricket and have great affection for him. I always found it quite confronting how much he knew about the game, how his deep knowledge of the issues of the game, and it was great to have private conversations with him about where the game was, where it was heading, and that's something that I'll look back on very fondly. He was so worldly about the game, and that, as I say, he was so well connected as well. I remember only a couple of years ago being in Sri Lanka for an event around the Australian tour of Sri Lanka, and being in a room of 200 people, 200 Sri Lankans. He seemed to know everyone in the room and was obviously held in very high regard and great affection by those in that part of the world as well as other places. So Tony will be sadly missed. We'll all miss him, and it's a very sad day.
Just some thoughts on Mike Hussey.
Yes, thank you. We've all heard from Michael just earlier on, and it was absolutely outstanding in the way he presented himself, I thought, just then. Consummate professional, really just the way he has played the game, the way he has represented his country. He's a model for young players coming up and into the Australian team. His performances are obviously outstanding. A great record of consistency, and a lot of that can be put down to the way in which he prepared himself with absolute commitment and dedication. And it's great that that Michael goes out on his own terms, and I think that that's one of the things that I look at Australian players of recent times, great Australian players in recent times, and the manner in which they have gone out of the game, going out on their own terms largely as great players, and leaving us when we still want more from them. It's a great, I think it's a fantastic thing that players can do that, make a hard decision like that, and we've heard from Michael today the reasons behind that, but creates opportunities for someone else, but at the same time it's nice for us over the next week to reflect on what has been a brilliant career from Michael Hussey.
James, how prepared is Cricket Australia for the double blow of Hussey and Ponting both leaving, and what are the chances we might have one brother replacing another?
Look, I think they're very big holes to fill, and pretty well one after the other in the space of just a month is eye-opening stuff, I think, and I think the selectors would be confident that we have a depth of talent to come in, but I don't think any of us are naive enough to expect players to just come in and take Michael Hussey's spot in the team and perform like he did. If you go back to Philip was recounting to me earlier on his debut in Brisbane. He walked into Test cricket and looked like a Test cricketer straight away, and that's in many ways what you wish for an international cricketer, for a young player coming into the team. And I guess fingers crossed those that come in and take the opportunity following on from him will have that. But it's a rare talent, I think, to come in to Test cricket as a batsman and look like an international cricketer from day one. He's one player that did that.
Will there be any tribute to Michael Hussey for the SCG test? Anything planned for a lap of honour or anything which the crowd can get excited about?
I don't think there's any distinct plans right now on that front. We'll probably let things unfold. There have been a few farewells at the Sydney Test match over the last decade, perhaps, and I think it will unfold in its own way. I know, just hearing from Michael there, and I know the sentiments of the team will be very much focused on number one priority is playing out a Test match and making sure Australia win, and then the celebrations and the goodbyes will start from there, I think.
James, just to go to Tony for a second, can you just expand? Is he one of the true global personalities of the sport, like one of very few global personalities?
Yeah, I think that's what, Mark, I think that's what really strikes me about Tony Greig is that he was genuinely connected the world over, and he had not only knew the game at a playing level, but he knew and understood the game and the deeper machinations behind it, I guess. And that was always, and he would ask the hard question about what's happening here and what's happening there, and it was sometimes it was quite confronting to hear how much he knew and understood, and that's one of the things that I have great admiration and regard for him. He was always a great person to talk to about the game. Fascinating insights from all over the world.
Any other questions for James this morning? Daniel.
James, I was just interested in I suppose the ACA element of Mike Hussey's career. Obviously, he was a pretty important member or player representative of the association. What were your dealings with him like around that over the years?
Well, yeah. Look, he's been a part of the ACA executive for many years now. Michael Hussey is a solid guy. He's smart. He understands both sides of it from a business perspective and a cricket administration perspective, and also is passionate about the players' interests. So whilst we don't, I guess he doesn't operate at the front line in terms of negotiations or discussions about issues. There are always chats that we were able to have, and they're always very, very sensible and well measured, as you would imagine from Michael Hussey.